Initial visits usually happen quietly. The bear simply walks along the fence, sniffing around the area and testing a few objects that seem easy to open. If it manages to find food without encountering resistance, another return visit is almost certain. Over time, this behavior gradually turns into a habit. The path from the forest to the farm is repeated so many times that it almost becomes a familiar feeding route. What is concerning is that bears do not need to destroy everything immediately. They can patiently observe and test things little by little. A slightly loose storage door, a trash bin that is not properly secured, or the smell of food drifting from the livestock area can all become an invisible invitation to them. When these weaknesses exist, the bear will return more frequently and move closer and closer to areas where people live. At some point, the distance between the two sides may shrink to only a few meters. A farmer steps outside at night, the light suddenly turns on, and the bear is already standing right there. In situations like this, even a small wrong movement can make the animal feel threatened. And when a bear attacks to defend itself, its enormous strength can make the encounter extremely dangerous. That is when management measures must be implemented seriously. Bear traps are not used as a reckless reaction, but as part of a carefully studied control system. Their purpose is to stop the repeating pattern of visits before the situation becomes more dangerous. Before setting traps, managers usually spend time observing very carefully. They track footprints on the ground, claw marks on tree trunks, and footage from infrared cameras at night. This information helps identify the bear's usual movement routes. Only after understanding how the animal moves and when it appears do they decide where the trap should be placed. One of the most commonly used devices is the large steel cage trap. Its structure is designed wide enough for the bear to walk inside naturally. The thick metal frame ensures stability when the animal moves within the trap. Bait is usually placed at the far end of the cage, forcing the bear to step completely inside before the door mechanism is triggered. In some regions, specialized foothold devices are also used under strict wildlife management regulations. These tools are designed to hold the animal in place without causing serious harm. Once the trap is triggered, management teams quickly approach to handle the situation according to prepared procedures. However, trapping is only one part of the overall strategy. Farms often need to change how the surrounding environment is managed. Trash containers are secured with metal lids, food storage areas are reinforced, and electric fences are installed in some places to prevent wildlife from entering. When easy food sources disappear, farms become far less attractive to bears. In many cases, simply removing these attractants is enough to encourage wildlife to return to their natural habitats. But if a bear has already formed the habit of returning repeatedly, intervention through trapping may become necessary to restore balance. Life on the edges of the forest has always been closely tied to the presence of wildlife. Farmers do not seek to confront nature, but they must learn how to protect what they have built. The balance between humans and wildlife is sometimes maintained only through timely decisions and careful management. If you want to explore more real stories from farms surrounded by vast natural landscapes, be sure to follow the channel so you don't miss upcoming videos about wildlife management and sustainable rural life. For many years, bears lived apart from human society, deep in the forest and rarely appearing near residential areas. However, as the boundary between nature and human settlements gradually began to overlap, encounters increased noticeably. What were once brief sightings have turned into situations where bears approach people on trails, along forest edges, and even near neighborhoods. And field management, the risk does not lie only in the moment a trap is triggered. What matters more is how the entire area is handled afterward. If procedures are not strictly controlled, an intervention point can become a reference within a bear's behavioral map, increasing the likelihood that it will remember the location and return later. Bears do not act on impulse. They respond to chains of stimuli, including scent, sound, movement, and spatial memory. When an individual approaches humans without facing clear resistance, that behavior can be reinforced. If not interrupted in time, the level of boldness gradually increases, raising the risk for both sides. For this reason, modern control systems focus not just on reacting to isolated incidents, but on preventing dangerous behavior from repeating in sensitive areas such as forest edges and hiking routes. Infrared cameras and motion sensors help identify individuals showing signs of approaching people. Accurate identification is essential, because not every bear poses the same level of threat. Once an individual is confirmed to have approached too closely or displayed risky behavior, the control team deploys specialized cage traps or foothold devices with regulated clamping force. These are designed to secure the front limb without causing severe injury, using curved frames and pressure-limiting springs. Traps are placed only at verified high-risk points and are always supported by remote monitoring. When the target steps into position, the automatic mechanism activates and sends a signal to the coordination center. A rapid response team arrives immediately. The animal is sedated under veterinary protocol and transported away from the area. The site is then carefully cleaned, removing scent and traces to prevent unnecessary memory associations. If handled carelessly, a capture point can become a lasting marker in a bear's behavioral map. When managed correctly, however, the area returns to a neutral state, carrying no signal of risk or reward. This is the core principle of long-term management, controlling not only the individual, but also the information the environment conveys. In residential zones, every action must meet even stricter standards. Crowds are avoided, images that could cause panic are restricted, and no individual is left restrained on site for extended periods. The objective is not simply to resolve the immediate situation, but to ensure the location is not remembered as a confrontation point. Captured individuals are transported to designated facilities in accordance with wildlife management regulations. Based on behavioral assessment and risk level, they may be relocated to suitable habitats or handled under specialized professional plans. Most importantly, they are not returned to the original location to reinforce approach behavior toward humans. In bear management, success is not measured by the number of traps deployed. It is evaluated by whether dangerous behavior stops, whether trails become safe again, and whether residents can carry out outdoor activities without constant alertness. Traps are only tools. Long-term stability depends on a coordinated system, from identification to environmental restoration. Over time, the most effective solution is not immediate reaction, but breaking the chain of dangerous behavior from the beginning. When the environment no longer reinforces approach behavior toward humans, conflict levels gradually decline. If you found this content useful, share your thoughts in the comments and follow the channel for the next part on lower risk management methods. For many years, bears have been regarded as symbols of deep forests, places where humans are merely passing visitors. But as the boundary between residential areas and the wild gradually narrows, the presence of bears is no longer rare. They move along forest edges, cross cornfields, and rummage through trash bins behind storage sheds. As the frequency of encounters increases, the question is no longer whether, but how to control. In field management, the most important factor is not immediate reaction, but understanding behavior. Bears do not move aimlessly. They remember the scent of food, safe trails, the location of water sources, and even areas where they previously encountered no obstacles. If an individual has repeatedly approached residential areas without facing clear barriers, it will return. And with each return, the distance between humans and wildlife shortens by another step. Therefore, the solution does not lie in scattered pursuit. It begins with systematic observation. Footprints impressed in damp soil, claw marks on tree trunks, overturned trash bins, or patches of disturbed ground near livestock enclosures all constitute data. Management teams must record the time of appearance, direction of movement, and estimated size of the individual. Only when the behavioral picture is fully assembled should a trapping plan be considered. Bear trapping in a modern context is not a tool of confrontation, but a purpose-built control device. The core principle is to minimize panic, avoid unnecessary injury, and ensure safety for the surrounding area. Before installation, the location must be carefully selected, distant from direct residential zones, spacious enough for safe operation, and positioned along the bear's habitual travel route. One of the common models is a remotely controlled trap activation system. Instead of relying entirely on mechanical mechanisms, modern devices often integrate surveillance cameras and motion sensors. During the initial days, the trap may remain open, serving only to monitor the bear's response to the bait. This phase helps determine the most consistent time of approach while preventing activation before safety conditions are fully met. The bait used must also be calculated carefully. Not all types of food are appropriate. The objective is not to attract multiple other animals, but to recreate a familiar scent that the bear has previously sought near residential areas. Once the individual has become accustomed to the trap structure and no longer perceives it as a threat, activation is carried out. The closing speed must be fast enough to ensure control, yet not so forceful as to cause injury. After the trap is activated, the subsequent handling process becomes the most critical stage. The surrounding area must be temporarily secured. Professional teams approach in a manner that limits further stimulation. All procedures must comply with local wildlife management regulations. In many cases, the individual will be tagged for monitoring before being relocated to a more suitable area, where natural food sources are abundant and human contact is limited. It must be emphasized that trapping is only one component of a broader strategy. Effective management requires coordination among farmers, local authorities, and conservation forces. Low-voltage electric fencing, wildlife-resistant trash containers, and community outreach all play essential roles.
On projects just like this.
Electric fence.
When properly implemented, bear traps are not symbols of confrontation, but instruments of balance. They represent an approach grounded in behavioral understanding, monitoring technology, and community responsibility. In a context where habitats increasingly overlap, thorough preparation and scientific control are the keys to minimizing risk. Ultimately, the most important factor lies not in the trap itself, but in how humans perceive their role within the ecosystem. When it is understood that every intervention leaves a lasting imprint, setting a trap is no longer a hasty act, but a calculated step. Only then can the balance between deep forests and residential areas be sustainably maintained.
This is no longer a series of isolated incidents happening at night. Tilted trash bins and bent fences are only surface signs of a movement pattern repeating in a structured way. Bears are not appearing randomly. They are entering the area from multiple directions, as if they have memorized every trail and gap between the forest and the residential zone. Each night, infrared cameras record the same hour and the same movement trajectory. The greatest concern is not a single encounter, but the fact that the safety distance is being reduced step by step. A rushed reaction at this moment will not solve the problem. On the contrary, it may make the target individual more cautious, forcing it to change routes and approach residential areas from angles that are harder to control. Therefore, instead of chasing or applying direct pressure, we choose a different strategy. The area is divided into control layers. Bear movement paths are clearly identified. And specialized traps are assigned to handle the highest risk part, instead of people. The operation does not begin with noise. It begins with calculated silence. Along the forest edge, where trails weave through bushes and slopes, large cage traps are placed at key intersections. They are discreet and do not disturb the surrounding environment. Bait is positioned deep inside, requiring the animal to step fully into the control zone before the mechanism is triggered. These traps function like invisible checkpoints. When an individual approaches and activates the drop door, a signal is sent to the monitoring center. There is no loud noise, no widespread panic. But that signal confirms one crucial fact: the behavior was accurately predicted. The appearance is no longer a surprise. It follows a prepared scenario. In low areas near water sources or temporary waste sites, where bears tend to leave the main route to search for quick food, secondary traps are arranged to slow and hold the individual in place. Our task is not to resolve everything in a single night, but to reduce immediate pressure and prevent deeper intrusion into human living spaces. Closest to residential zones, everything is arranged remotely and under strict control. A smart cage trap is positioned at the center, discreet but strategically critical. This is the final control layer before bear movement reaches the backyards of families. Cameras and motion sensors continuously monitor even the smallest signal. It pauses for a few seconds, sniffs the air, then continues along its familiar path. No panic, no sudden change of direction. That calm behavior is the signal that the control system is operating with precise accuracy. The outer layer trap is triggered first, slowing the advance. The individual is forced to shift direction, moving closer to the prepared zone. Without this early control layer, the distance from the forest edge to residential fences could be reduced within minutes. At this stage, the trap is no longer merely a technical device. It becomes the final protective barrier for the community. The rapid response team is deployed immediately after confirmation is received. Sedation and transport procedures follow veterinary standards and are carried out as quickly as possible. The area is cleaned, bait scent is removed, and all equipment is dismantled right after completion. In bear management, sustainable solutions do not come from reacting after each appearance. They come from predicting the right route, controlling the right contact point, and intervening at the right moment. When technology is used with planning, it does not only protect property or crops. It protects the essential safety distance between humans and nature. If you are interested in safe and responsible wildlife management methods, follow the channel to continue accompanying us in upcoming stories.
Hey, bear. Hey.
In recent years, incidents of bears approaching farms and residential areas have become more frequent. These are no longer just distant sightings, as many cases record bears breaking into storage areas, searching for food, and damaging barns. The damage goes beyond broken windows or bent wooden doors and can affect structural elements and storage systems. For many families, repair costs become a significant burden. Conflicts between humans and bears are therefore no longer isolated events, but ongoing issues without an appropriate control system.
Really upset. They broke my phone.
Dad's got a bigger problem.
They're gonna be poking holes with their feet in the floor.
You had enough to eat. Let's go.
When repeated intrusions
Come on.
occur,
Yeah.
communities
Come on.
face increasing
Shoot,
pressure.
shoot.
Residents
Come on.
invest in stronger fences, steel doors, and reinforced storage facilities, yet costs continue to rise over time. Beyond material losses, the psychological impact is considerable. Anxiety emerges during outdoor activities or when children play near the forest edge. Production activities are disrupted due to heightened vigilance. A sustainable solution must therefore reduce economic damage while helping communities regain long-term stability.
She's gonna kick him out and say, "You're on your own."
Bears do not move toward residential areas randomly. They are attracted by specific signals such as livestock feed, organic waste, or ripe fruit left outdoors. When one successful approach provides easy access to food, the individual remembers the location. The next visit may come with greater confidence. If attractants remain available, repeated behavior becomes highly likely. Effective trapping must therefore go hand in hand with strict management of attractant sources from the beginning. To avoid emotional reactions, management teams use monitoring equipment to identify precise points of repeated access. Infrared cameras record common times and movement directions. This data allows risk assessment before intervention measures are deployed. Tracking devices help response teams approach locations more safely. Instead of waiting for incidents, information is analyzed in advance to support informed decisions. Technology plays a key role in reducing risk and improving control effectiveness. Traps are not placed widely, but only at locations confirmed and monitoring data. Cage traps or limited force foothold devices are selected depending on specific circumstances. Their design aims to minimize serious injury while allowing timely response. Remote monitoring systems ensure that control teams receive signals immediately upon activation. The objective is to address a specific individual causing repeated risk rather than create unnecessary broad impact.
Дергай! Снимаешь?
Ты успокоился, не матерись, ну.
Снимаешь?
In some cases, specially trained dogs assist in the tracking process. They undergo months of training to develop scent detection skills and maintain safe distances from large wildlife. Coordination between dogs and handlers helps accurately identify the location of suspected individuals before traps are set. This reduces the risk of unexpected encounters. The use of trained dogs increases monitoring effectiveness and supports controlled trap deployment. trap is activated, the rapid response team moves immediately to the site. The captured individual is sedated according to veterinary standards to ensure safety. The animal is then transported to a designated management facility for behavioral assessment and risk evaluation. At the same time, the trap location is thoroughly cleaned to remove scent and traces. This prevents the creation of new memory points and reduces the likelihood of other individuals returning to the same location.
Да. Давай, снимай подбородок. Увеличивай поближе. Он не видит. Чтобы у нас тут не захуярил. Давайте подработайте. Пока есть.
Пока он этот выход не нашел.
The effectiveness of the system is not measured by the number of traps placed. What matters is whether intrusions decrease and damage no longer repeats. When farms return to stability and bear populations remain within natural habitats, the objective is achieved. Traps are only one component of a broader strategy balancing human safety and wildlife conservation. For decades, bears have been regarded as symbols of the deep wilderness. They lived across vast territories and rarely crossed paths with people. However, as forests shrink, natural food sources decline, and human activity expands, the boundary between these two worlds becomes increasingly blurred. Bears are not seeking confrontation. They are simply adapting in order to survive within a changing environment. In rural and mountainous regions, the scent of easily accessible food becomes a powerful attraction. Crops, livestock enclosures, garbage bins, and food storage areas can all draw their attention. As a result, encounters gradually increase, placing pressure on local communities. The challenge is no longer about completely removing them, but about managing the situation to reduce conflict while preserving the ecosystem. In this context, bear traps function as management tools rather than extreme measures. The goal is not elimination, but control, monitoring, and restoring balance between people and nature. Modern systems are designed to minimize impact, prioritize safety, and collect data that supports long-term strategies. The process of setting traps begins with behavioral research. Management teams study movement routes, feeding schedules, and how bears respond to human-influenced environments. Only by clearly understanding these patterns can intervention be effective. Traps are placed along familiar trails or in areas bears frequently return to. The bait is selected to imitate natural food sources, allowing the animal to approach calmly. The structure provides sufficient space, avoids sharp edges, and reduces physical impact until specialized teams arrive. Once safely secured, the bear undergoes a health assessment, and its age, sex, and level of adaptation to residential areas are determined. This information plays a key role in developing region-specific management strategies. In many cases, a tracking device is attached before relocation to a more suitable habitat. Tracking devices allow researchers to monitor territorial range and post-intervention behavior. When combined with community education, improved food storage practices, and responsible land planning, conflicts can be significantly reduced without disrupting natural balance. However, in areas such as northern Japan's mountainous regions, situations sometimes exceed passive management. The Asian black bear appears more frequently near residential zones, causing damage to farms and livestock. When risk levels rise, rapid response teams are deployed to protect local communities. Before dawn, a specialized team gathers on a dirt road leading into the forest. They carry communication equipment, control tools, and a carefully prepared plan. Temporary observation points are set along known bear routes as they wait for the first signs of movement. When a bear appears near the edge of cultivated land, the formation adjusts immediately. Each position is secured to prevent movement toward residential areas. Decisions are coordinated by radio to maintain control and ensure the safety of residents. After several hours of operation, the area is temporarily secured. Yet everyone understands this is only part of a broader effort. Bears remain in the forest, and survival pressures persist. Sustainable solutions depend on scientific management, community awareness, and maintaining clear boundaries between human spaces and the natural world. found this information helpful, leave a comment with your thoughts and follow the channel for more content on wildlife management and community protection.
When the forest begins to turn yellow at the end of season, some small farms along the forest edge also enter the most sensitive time of the year. This is when natural food sources gradually become scarce, and large animals begin to move across wider areas in search of energy before the cold season arrives. For many years, people living near the forest have become familiar with the signs of this shift. A trash bin knocked over, a wooden fence slightly bent, and sometimes large footprints pressed deep into the damp soil after a quiet night. First, these traces usually appear sporadically and do not cause too much concern. But over time, when an individual bear begins returning to the same area repeatedly, everything changes. Livestock enclosures may be pushed out of place. Stored food containers can be torn open. Even fruit trees near the house may be broken as the animal reaches for fruit. What worries residents the most is not only the material damage, but the possibility that the animal gradually becomes accustomed to the presence of humans. Bears are extremely intelligent animals with strong memories. When they discover an easy food source, they often return along the same route. If not properly managed in time, what begins with a single individual can turn into repeated visits throughout the season. For this reason, many rural communities have begun adopting more systematic control methods instead of the scattered reactions used in the past. One of the most common solutions is the use of large steel traps specially designed for animals of considerable size. These traps are not like the compact traditional traps often used for smaller species. They consist of a solid steel frame reinforced with thick metal bars and a heavy drop door designed to close quickly when the trigger mechanism is touched. Before setting the trap, the most important step is always surveying the area. Farm managers typically search for clear signs, such as large footprints, claw marks on tree trunks, or overturned logs, where bears have searched for insects. Trails through the forest are also important clues, as many bears tend to follow familiar routes that have formed over many years. Once the movement route has been identified, the trap is placed in a position where the animal is most likely to pass naturally, rather than placing it right next to houses or livestock enclosures. The trap is usually set a bit farther away, near the forest edge or along a trail. The goal is to maintain a safe distance between residential areas and the control point while reducing the risk of startling the animal. And inside the trap. A strong bait is usually placed to attract the bear's attention. The scent of food can travel far through the air, especially at night when temperatures drop and the wind is light. However, the trap is not activated immediately. In many cases, the door is kept fixed open during the first few days, so the animal can become accustomed to the presence of the steel frame. During this time, infrared cameras are often installed near the trap area to monitor nighttime activity. The recorded footage helps confirm exactly which individual is returning and how frequently it appears. When the camera shows that the bear has begun entering the trap to reach the bait, that is when the system is finally fully activated. The moment the trap closes usually happens very quickly. When the animal touches the trigger mechanism, the heavy steel door immediately drops down and locks firmly behind it. The entire process lasts only a few seconds. The trap is designed to contain the animal without causing serious injury, while preventing it from escaping before the management team arrives. After the trap is triggered, the next step is a quick and proper response. Area managers usually approach from a safe distance while ensuring the surrounding area is secured. The following procedures may include checking the condition of the animal and carrying out management actions according to conservation regulations and community safety guidelines. Overall, from reading footprints in the soil, monitoring night cameras, to the moment the trigger mechanism is activated, every step serves a single goal: protecting the farms, protecting the community, and maintaining a balance between humans and nature.